because we're into picks and bans one more time.
We'll take a look. The P's and B's on your screens. Ares banned out by Paradigm first.
The Ares ban, honestly, both teams were a little bit fearful of Ares overall. And Millsy's Ares very, very strong, as is Trig's tanks. So, EU, we like our Ares and we like our Ymir. And those two generally are getting picked and banned all the time. You saw that at Worlds. I mean, it's the only way you won it. You had to ban those gods.
Of course, and definitely giving respect to the CC chains, the fact that Ymir's a huge flex picks, even in NA now. Believe me,
respect.
I understand.
I was talking to Jeff actually yesterday, last night in the evening after the games, and I was like, why don't you play Ymir so much? I'm like, I've been playing since the game existed. That god is vanilla because he was out in vanilla, and he just gets boring. But I respect Ymir, and he's got insane damage.
No, I mean, I myself, I have like 3,000 games played on Ymir alone.
He's so much fun.
He's a good god.
He's good.
He does. It's simple, but it's effective.
It's so simple.
I freeze here, lots of damage. Like it's just he's good. He does what he needs to do, and he does it well.
I make you slow. I make you stand still. I make a wall so you can't move even when you can move.
It's actually the same bands.
It's the same.
A Serqet first pick again. So I think London Conspiracy is just going to switch it up a little bit. I think they were content with the bans. They want to go with a different course of action. Maybe a Humbats again, but. Do we see the double hunter being an option? I mean,
maybe. I think we see Snakeskin go away from the Neith, personally.
His tier is very, very strong.
For his tier?
Yes.
His tier is very.
To be fair, when Snakeskin first got into the league, I was like, all I know him for is tier. And he kept tweeting at me going, I can play more than tier. And then he played one game, someone else went, good job. Good job. You played more than just tier for a game. But he's expanded his god pool a lot this season, considering he's played through. Neith locked in, though.
I like this. The Sylvanus grab, the Neith grab. I mean, that could potentially be a flex pick for mid or soul lane. So Sylvanus just taking away that sustain. I think the sustain in those fights were huge. And we actually have the Agni response. I wonder what triggered that for Lobby.
Well, so Lobster is really known for his Agni. That's to me the god that comes to mind. Agni, sort of, but Agni. And Arrow has shown, not just in game one of this set, but overall of his SPL, that he's a very competent Agni. Even in the first game, they lost, but he played very, very well. So Lobster just saying, hey, it's not really taking it away from Arrow, but I'm happy that you don't have it.
I think what it is as well is the fact that Arrow, the Agni pick was picked for London Conspiracy the moment Serqet got locked in, because Agni's pretty good against Serqet for survivability. It's difficult for Serqet to chase all the way down and find it. Wheelix coming out, though, from the boys of London Conspiracy here. They've got a little bit of setup with that Wrath of Terror coming out from Sylvanus here. And that's one of those picks that, generally you'll see go to the side of Paradigm because Cuvo's famed for it. But a Wheelix very good against Serqet.
Well, you asked earlier, are they going to ban out Zarya? Can you ban out Zarya? The answer is no, but you can certainly take the baby off the board.
Well, you can just pick Nemesis again, right?
I mean, the Vana definitely was a little bit too hard for anyone to deal with, especially getting that early game advantage. But now I do like this, the counter ban of Poseidon, knowing that, well, Wrath of Terror is a hard knockup, and a lot of people don't realize this, but Poseidon's ultimate, the Kraken, it actually has a knockup on it as well. If timed correctly, you could pull people.
That's right.
It's a very slight timing, but you can get it, and the Scylla immediately locked in. I think they're going to do something off of the previous set before today. Yeah, Titan.
If you guys are just tuning in, the previous set today was Titan versus Fnatic, and Titan really utilized their teamwork to the nth degree, using this a Wheelix pull into Scylla damage off of the Guardian.
That's
so
a
London Conspiracy looking at that. And Paradigm goes ahead and picks one of my personal favorite gods, one of your personal favorite gods, Allied.
Freya. But actually, I could actually be lying there and say, I just said that's a Freya Hunter for Funballer, but Xaylia has been known to run this in the solo lane too, so that's actually a flex pick for Paradigm here. They could put that either solo or no. Okay, never mind.
Wukong
it's going to be
solo.
The Freya Wukong, well, Wukong will find himself in the solo lane, but
that combo's still very tough to deal with.
During that warrior meta, where warriors play support, Freya's Sun Wukong lane is one of the scarier lanes. We're not going to see that lane come out from Paradigm, but we'll see that later on in the team fights. Banish into Cat Stun.
I actually like this. Who Jesus coming through with the hot setups, the snipes, the ricochets. I like it. I think this is a really good combo character with a lot of team fight potential. Maybe he might be able to set up some plays, but it's once again the double hunter, very committed on the Neith. I'm assuming that would be Neith solo. Hu-Yi solo it could be a thing, but Neith solo is definitely the safer option here.
For sure.
And the Freya pick here as well for Funballer. What you'll probably see him go for early is the Achilles spear, which a lot of people are starting to realize on Freya right now is really strong. 30-second cooldown, lifesteal on it as well, combines with Freya's passive of lifesteal too, allows them to clear the wave out well. I was a little bit concerned by the Freya pick just because Geb Freya together, the wave clear is not that strong.
Yeah.
Oh, and Freya's actually going to start off with the Soul Stone, it looks like. So the basic attack will set up for the rest of it. And there's the Achilles Spear that you were talking about. So just a Soul Stone Achilles Spear starting off for the Freya. It sounds very dangerous.
I mean, you got to look at it this way. Vampiric Shroud gives about like 100 health early game, not to mention the sustain in lane. When you're looking at that build, you got to be looking at the sustain. He only has 1 health potion, 1 mana potion. It's Sylvanus Hu-Yi. This is probably Freya's worst matchup yet. I mean, Sylvanus already, Freya has no natural escapes besides banish. She has a hard time escaping out of that kind of pressure. On top of Hu-Yi's combo potential, the threat of being pop-shotted with the Hu-Yi's Hunter's Mark to Ricochet combo alone is just threatening.
It seems risky.
Without the extra health from Vampiric Shroud, without the sustain, that's tough to deal with.
Yeah, he seems a little bit risky because obviously in the lane, that's what we're talking about. He's got 1 health potion, 1 mana potion. There's no sustain on the Soul Stone whatsoever apart from mana regen here allied. So you're just basically going to be using this Achilles Spear to try and sustain as much as possible. And it looks like the boys of London Conspiracy are going to go for a cheeky invade for the purple buff, but Paradigm
this is good.
have spotted this out. Funballer going to zone away Millsy. Good poke onto him.
Oh
the pump
my.
from that Ricochet.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking. The pop shot, you know, hit me up on game battles, 1v1 me, Hu-Yi canals. Like, I like it. Like, just right there, that shows the potential. That off there, I would be playing defensively until the 10-minute mark. And they didn't get the purple. They do get the first push with a guaranteed purple.
And
but
Conspiracy get ahead of this, even though they didn't get their buff yet, because Scylla mid lane managed to push him mid and get speed buff experience too.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, like, right there, especially with that, like, little matchup, it's going to be rough.
Well, still level 1 in mid lane now is Lobster. He's a very experienced Agni, as we always mention when we see Lobster's Agni here, but he's going to be up against it, as I like the rotation coming out quick from Suntouch, hot and quick to try and keep the pressure on.
Yeah, I think at this point it's going to be a very downhill game for Lobster. He's got to climb uphill because he is behind Scylla, and Scylla's early game being ahead, just that's rough to deal with. And actually kind of confirming the buffs over here. Suntouch.
This is cheeky from Cuvo. Cheeky from Cuvo. Very cheeky, very dangerous. Will he get punished for it? Doesn't look like he will. Oh!
Beautiful Cobra's Kiss.
The double Cobra's Kiss. Like, kiss each other, boys. I'm off. See you later.
And he does successfully steal away the red buff experience and the buff itself away from London Conspiracy. So, Cuvo Fred playing a dangerous game, but coming out on top.
The whole of Paradigm are just feeding themselves right now. Like last game, none of them really made any mistakes that you could call out for certain. And then on top of that, this game, Q was like, well, Funballer, you're going to go aggressive? I'll do this too. At level 2.
Yeah, right now it's going to come down to how well Funballer can transition this Freya into like the mid to late game. You know, seeing if he can ever get any kind of dual lane control to translate that to a Gold Fury. And Cuvo Fred just, you know, he's doing his thing. He's invading and aggressive dash coming out of Lobster.
Dash. That's dead. That's
just
dead.
a little bit.
Locked down in completely. Lobster just dashing in, finds the stun. They wait for level 5.
That's that closed beta Agni. Like, I know this god in and out. I've played against Lobster a million times in the closed beta. And let me tell you, Agni was a common ban against him.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, right there, folks, the #1 rule as an Agni is don't use your dash aggressively. But when you learn the rules, you can break the rules because that's how you do it. Lobster knew all of the threats that were around or could be around, did the mental math in his head, and came out on top. Knew that, again, the dash from him could be followed up quickly by Cuvo. He wouldn't be left alone. All of those factors come in, and now LC looks to solidify this kill.
They don't find the stun, but they do find the Hammer Monster following up. Cuvo jumps on the backside, though. Trix does go down. Cuvo does find the poison damage. No, the poison damage isn't down at all yet. They still haven't used it, as Lobster brings down another. Millsy going to secure one buff, but this hot rotation from Suntouch. Sorry, Shaggy Shank, I should say. Gets him a double kill and cleans that one up in favor of Conspiracy.
It was a hot rotation from Shaggy Shank, but Suns did touch the enemy About 9 of them did.
Please
the
no.
ultimate from Shaggy Shank
Just
secures the double kill.
Just stop. You're worse than DM. Sick of you already. Harpies on the right do go to a Millsy as well for the side of London Conspiracy. This is a much better start from the boys of Conspiracy. However, looking at the goal differential between the two, it looks relatively even
92.
right now. Completely even across the board here, Allied, for 3.5 minutes in. After mid-Harpies both go into one team.
I mean, right now, like, here's the difference between the first game and this game. Shaggy Shank is online.
Oh,
like,
yes, he is.
The first game, Shaggy Shank had a very just mediocre performance. He got picked, he died. He didn't really contribute much with the Hui online now with 2 kills, especially with that team fight ultimate. I'm expecting big things out of Shaggy this game. However, I will say that Suntouch has already died 2 times. 4 assists on him, but 2 times. Let's see if he can get out of that to pull a win for his boys.
He's a little bit behind now in gold on Cubo, friend, who has picked up that kill as well. It's about 500 gold differential. 5k, I was about to say.
What was...
It's my mind. Oh, Funballer, a little bit cut out of position here. Does have the ultimate to get out if he needs to. Can use it, but just going to... Why is he just back away?
That Achilles spear makes the same noise as a girdle. I heard it, and I was looking at the actors. Whose girdle is that? But Funball, because of that 30-second cooldown, popping it so often.
But what he can do is he can pop it every single wave.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like he'll play this exactly like a hunter with Devourer's Gauntlets. He can go in, trade with the hunter. If he loses the trade, he backs out, but right-hand side.
Cubo still aggressive, gets the damage out onto Snakeskin, but Suntouch is here to provide a little bit of triage. Zelia, the solo laner, goes ahead and cleans up the damage that was put onto Snakeskin with a little bit of monkey business.
We didn't need to see that. Nobody needed to see that.
He hit him with the cudgel. You can look at the cooldowns and learn.
Oh, genius. Learn by not watching. Learn by not watching.
I can't make my head move 360 degrees like an owl.
So 4 for 4 right now. Paradigm are up 1-0. If they win this game, they will go to LAN to face off against Cloud9. If London Conspiracy can win this game, they will force a tiebreaker and will go into a 3rd game between these two today. And that winner will go to LAN.
I would like to point out that Agni did go for a Doom Orb early start. You actually don't see that too often. Usually it's like a Bancroft's Talon, early pen boots, something of that sort. But yeah, no, Lobster's feeling himself, especially with the 2 kills on him. He does go for the Doom Orb for boots 1. He has beads too, and he is buying a ton of wards. So Lobster's doing a lot for his team right now.
I mean, we mentioned ad nauseum how much experience Lobster has on this Agni, and this is really what that means. He knows just how safe he's going to be with the stun and the dash, and he's able to go Doom Orb.
I like that poke right there, showing basically dominance, showing that, you know what, you come through this way, you're not checking every single corner, I'm right there. Cubo Fred.
Lobster.
It really puts the team on the defensive when you can poke people out with Serqet freely like that.
Well, that's what he did. He just poked and then walked away again.
No reason to commit.
It made them contest.
He could have ulted too. He could have probably ulted to
And
guarantee
find the
that kill, but like a very objective focus. I'm going to poke out Scylla because I want mid Harpies. He's realizing mid Harpies is the greater value over a kill right now.
Well, they find left Harpies, right ones have spawned. Wards down from both sides. Lobster gets the stun, but on the backside we got Cubo coming in, probably looking for Suntouch. He's trying to get away. Great rapid turn from the Millsy. Dodges out as Cubo, the Iron Monster, but still Suntouch lives for now.
Suntouch will be getting out on the left-hand side. Cubo Fred dancing. Just dancing around the damage. One more time, Zelia picks up the kill against Snakeskin. Zelia has played this Sun Wukong a number of times during the summer split and has just been... I mean, normally Sun Wukong exists as an annoyance. Zelia's Sun Wukong winds up being a damage dealer.
Is that something that he played beforehand, though, before the LAN? And then he saw it at LAN from NA and went, I'm just going to steal that. Seems to
you
work.
know us NAs.
Well, you guys have been stealing our stock strategies forever, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, like...
Oh, yeah.
We'll take one for a change.
Yeah.
Agni, Ymir, Ares, who are these gods? Have they been released in NA yet? Like...
I do like the fact that has Funballer? I mean, he's back once, but I wonder how much gold he has in hand.
What are you looking for here? You're looking for Fatalis
Yeah,
first,
yes.
then what we go next? Boots? What's the
Probably
build?
boots into maybe a Demonic Grip, maybe a Bancroft's Talent. I mean, he could complement Lifesteal with Lifesteal, get an early Bancroft's to complement the Achilles Spear.
What about Pythax piece, considering you got an Agni on your team too?
Oh, that would be
Good
huge.
call.
I mean, I would expect that out of Agni, though, because that's usually his route to get that early.
The Bancrofts, yeah.
Yeah, you could do the I like to call it the Lassus build, where you go Bancrofts and Pythags at the same time. You go both, and then boots.
That's definitely the Lazarus build. Lazarus has Lazarus and the Eager guys have really professed their love for this Pythagoras piece recently. Just how efficient it winds up being.
We're starting to see it more and more in play though as well.
It used to be one of the 0 purchased items, and now with a little bit of tweak, I believe the cost was looked at. We're seeing it sort of rise to the occasion.
8.5 minutes in. Zaylia's still going aggressive on Snakeskin, being forced away one more time.
Levels
look how much.
3 levels. 3.
levels. Oh.
After that wave goes down there.
So much HP. And he's chasing beneath the tower.
It's a rough situation right now for London Conspiracy because Snakeskin's really struggling in this lane.
Snakeskin has effectively lost lane at this point. That early, that 1v1, the last engagement, really kind of sealed the deal. And at this point, having Xaylia win lane yet again, kind of,
Those transformations did so much damage. Tiger fully maxed, I believe, 72 transformations, and that'll just give the extra damage to that. And that just, with the stun, just confirm the kill straight out. There's nothing you could do.
Rip Suntouch.
9-minute Harpies about to spawn. This is the 3rd time they've come here along in our 2-game set. Second game of it. Left-hand side. Looks like they're going to be given to Paradigm. The right-hand side. London's starting to make their way over there, but those camps will be on a little bit of a delay. And QO Fred.
Go for your call. Fumble has already started it here, I think. Oh, they were looking at it for a moment, but Shaggy pushing in that wave changed their mind, and now Kivo Lobster will rotate for the rights as well.
I mean, right now, what Paradigm needs to do is they probably can get like an early kind of mid-Harpy fight, turn that into a Gold Fury, and then seal the deal. But London has different plans. They're actually poking at the Gold Fury. I think they're just clearing a ward there.
Yeah, there's a ward just underneath, and Trickstan clearly in the area again saying, no, not this time, not just yet.
Give up mid-Harpies. Will there be a contest for the left mid-Harpies here? Doesn't look like Trickstan. Oh, that's a slow rock.
That is a slow rock. A great ultimate coming out from Emilzy into the knock-up coming out from Suntouch, but that's pulled him into dangerous territory. Valkyrie's discretion used by Funballer. The focus is onto Arrow, who nicely uses the Sentinel to get over the wall, but a full disengage from Conspiracy.
That's the first time we've seen Funball use that ultimate. He's level 10. He got that 5 levels ago and just hasn't been forced into the Valkyrie's discretion. Good for him, but also hasn't been able to use it aggressively either. First time we get to see that. Doesn't result in much of a kill or anything, but it pushes London Conspiracy not far enough away from the objective.
Tricks. Not going to get there in time. Gold Fury goes. The engagement going to go, though. Xaylia gets the transformations, but Shaggy trying to continue poking back as Funballer comes in with that haste and fatalize. Milsey is getting burnt to the ground as Lobster drops that final bomb. Gold Fury for a kill. It's not really worth.
I mean, I love what Shaggy did there. Starting it off, raining down the Suns, was able to... They recognized the situation, realized they kind of retreated back, and they went for the Gold Fury. But now the question is, can they defend this Tower London Conspiracy with their support down? I think they might let this go.
Well, this is the problem with the Freya Hunter instead of a traditional Hunter. Your tower damage is low, comparatively speaking, when you have a regular Hunter here in the long lane. So they do...
Pushes later on will be tough.
Paradigm does manage to take out that tower. They're going to do so without any damage on them. So all told, after the Gold Fury kill tower, things wind up being a little bit more safe for Paradigm as you see the step in the right direction.
To be honest, Conspiracy played that really well, getting that Gold Fury for themselves. They brought themselves back into this game a little bit behind an experience, which is important early. But the gold, it will help.
Yeah. No, absolutely. The tier 1 tower, I think that was the right kind of choice there. And now, really, as things start to settle down, you have to look at like which lanes are winning, which lanes are losing. I think Shaggy Shank is doing an amazing job. I always think Shaggy is probably one of the more consistent players on London Conspiracy. But now you have to look at the negatives. Suntouch is not doing too hot right now, having a hard time dealing with Serqet, getting picked off a little bit. He has died 3 times with no kills to his name, and Snakeskin lost lane. I mean, you look at it any other way, but
jungle solo struggling.
Yeah, it's tough, and when having your soul lane being that far behind, it's once Xaylia starts getting to these fights, it's going to be very tough. I don't think Shaggy has it in him.
Look at the confidence in Lobster, though. He's not even finished his boots there, gone straight into the full Spear of the Mega straight after, so his damage output even stronger now, especially with that full Doom Mob stack too. Doesn't even feel like he needs the mobility to worry, because I'd be worrying against an Aero Scylla and Suntouch's Axilix that you can get picked off.
Yeah, they've just had so much dominance and protection. Fred has been lights out with those Cobra Kisses, using them not just to set up, but also defensively. And Lobster, of course, very, very quick on those dashes to get away, able to drop down the Noxious Fumes as well to get the stun. This is a very confident player on a god that he's very comfortable with. And the team, despite only being ahead by about 2,000 gold, they're operating on all cylinders.
They are on all cylinders, but Paradigm aren't doing anything too as crazy as I thought I'd expect. After Cuvo went aggressive early on, I thought maybe we're going to see Paradigm just try and rush this really hard, but they're taking the time about this now because they realize this is an important game. This is the land decider, realistically. Yeah. They still need to win this one.
Well, right now, you got to look at it this way.
Backside.
Oh, there's actually an engagement.
Ooh.
Not going to find the rollout is Trig's tank there, and Cuvo was in with support. Didn't find the knockback, though. If they found the knockback, potentially a kill onto the target, but for now, all back to farming.
Xayah comes about halfway through, and the second he sees that fight's not going to happen, goes right back to solo lane.
Right back to farming, keeping Snakeskin pinned down. Heartseeker, Devourer's going. Sorry, Heartseeker Death's Toll there. Heartseeker's still not fully stacked because he keeps not being able to get it all the way up.
2 deaths on the Neith.
Right now, I think it's all on Funballer, just kind of waiting for him to catch up on farm, and then there'll be one well-oiled machine as Xayah goes for another 1v1.
Good route from Snakeskin there.
Mana isn't really a thing for Snakeskin because he doesn't have any, so he has to play a little bit more defensively in these engagements. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten sprint yet.
Why isn't Xayah killing that mana flower from Sylvanus? Milzy has a flower right here in the soul lane, and Xayah's just not killing it.
I don't think he
just
notices.
did.
He's just looking to kill the Snakeskin. I'm pretty sure he's just like...
Xayah's baiting Suntouch to stay in this lane, though, which is allowing his team to look for aggression on the left-hand lane right now, as you see Xayah 2v1, and there is a fight on the left, and it's Shaggy who's caught.
Shaggy drops the Suns. He's going to do damage to, well, everyone, but Cubo Fred does the damage that counts. Shaggy Shank falls down to the wayside. Xayah successfully 2v1s. Doesn't get a kill, but he successfully 2v1s because he does his job exactly. He just keeps him out of the fight.
Yeah, kept him out of the fight. And because he was stood in the ward the whole time, Suntouch was, Xayah kept himself in a position like, I don't know if there's a ward there, honest. You should hang around here a little bit more, and allow the rest of his team to get in a position to pick Shaggy on the left-hand side.
It reminds me of a Devio style of play where it's like, I can't kill you, but I'm so tanky, I'm so annoying that, well, you know, I do whatever I want now. Good luck.
Well, talk about doing what he wants. He's just popped the Cloud in mid lane as they're going aggressive on Milzy. He's zoning out the rest of the team, and Milzy pops a little bit just below half health, but Wisp will come out. Good pull-in from Suntouch, though. Xayah should pay with his life here, but he's just so tanky.
Xayah will still be alive, and here comes the rest of Paradigm to seal the deal. Freya, doing damage from both the sky and the ground, is going to send arrow packing. Trig's tank gets credit for that one as the Guardian. Trig's tank shield is down, used on himself, stunned out by Shaggy Shank. Shaggy Shank looking for him, but a great banish. Support the support. Funball, being the supporter this time, separates his Guardian from the aggressor, and with that, Paradigm won't take the tower, but they'll take a life, and they'll take the mid camps.
There's good aggression from Paradigm there. They don't get as much as they wanted from that, because if they could have cleaned that up, they could have potentially got Gold Fury there too, Alad.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of options there, but you do see Shaggy was checking Gold Fury there as they kind of retreat there. But yeah, I don't know. Like, right now, I feel like I want to see Funballers more a part of these fights and able to, like, get his damage off. He is going for the Bancrofts. I mentioned that beforehand, and that I think that's Bancroft. What is that?
It can go Bancrofts, or it can go Pythags
as
well.
Pythags as well.
Still on that choice. Funball midway through on the player damage, but Freya also not an early game character. Once we see this damage finished on the Bancrofts or Pythags, whatever it is, Fatalis is good. You've got, well, boots, STDR boots. It doesn't really matter what kind of boots,
love what his team is doing. They're being the aggressors. They're
the potential
winning their
Suntouch here. Oh, it's just going to go away.
And it allows for Funballers to kind of just free farm. He's focusing on the farm. He's got a couple gangster to relieve pressure, and it's working out well. And I don't know, it's just a matter of time until we see the Freya late game.
And he's been doing what he can in these fights. I mentioned Geb survived because Funball was there to provide a banish. And a little bit of slow from the pulse as well.
Shaggy in trouble, going to get full combo by Cubo. Fred takes to the sky, but he's going to jump straight into the hands of Xayah as Cubo collapses. Great pulling from Suntouch to keep him in the Suns, though. Suntouch may pay the iron price as the dunk from the monkey comes out, as does Valkyrie's discretion, and now Milzy, the tree, trying to get away from the team of Paradigm.
Damage coming out from Funball. He's trying to find it, but the pulse just won't reach. There is the banish, and it's enough. Lobster gets the kill onto the Guardian for London Conspiracy.
Fire Giant.
That pushes Paradigm even further in the lead. 8 kills.
Because in the call, Go Fury Fire Giant, Go Fury Fire Giant, Go Fury.
I think they recognize that, you know what, we did take a little bit of damage. Let's just get the guaranteed Go Fury. And I think the correct call here is, let's do Go Fury because, hey, we could do that again. Like it's like if it was that easy for them to get a 4-0 sweep and a gold fear, imagine now a 4-0 sweep Fire Giant. Because that's going to help them push towers.
Well, they're going to push in mid lane as well here. Try and bring down this tower. Like we said, no AD carries on this team, though. So it's going to take a little bit longer, but Freya's starting to hit her stride now, so the damage isn't so bad anymore.
What a lot of people forget is that Fire Giant, if they do end up getting it later on in this game, that it does help against objectives. It gives you bonus objective damage, where it kind of makes it... You kind of forget that, hey, I don't have a hunter anymore, but I still kind of two-shot all the objectives. So.
Yeah, Geb starts doing damage to it then as well.
Oh, yeah, Geb's swinging hard.
The
Like
1-2 turnaround.
Yep. It's very rare that you see a Geb actually manage to get the turnaround off, because you're not that often in melee that you can keep hitting melee shots all the time.
Melee?
Melee.
Melee?
That's what
Melee.
Melee.
Milady.
Tomato.
So what do you call the GameCube version of Smash Brothers?
Smash Bros. Melee. Melee.
Melee?
Yeah.
That's not how you
I've always
say
said,
it.
I've always said
Melee?
Melee. I've always said Melee.
Melee?
What about the noise
Melee.
rock band
Who?
album Battles?
Ignore
Melee?
this. Leave me alone in my accent, okay? It's a European game. I'll speak how I want to. As once again, Paradigm in the jungle, looking for aggression. Zalia being that cheeky monkey on the front line. And now he's got some magic resistance too. He's like almost
So
unstoppable.
this level 12 of Meals, he just tried to pull Zalia. What do you get if you pull a level 18?
I mean, you think if
You get a cudgel to the dome, because that's the only thing that's going to happen out of that. At this point, what London Conspiracy needs to do is play defensively, play smart, under tower, and look for mistakes. There is mistakes to happen here. Poke out the Serqet. That's
Suntouch is
squishy,
dead.
but Suntouch getting picked once again.
Wrath of
It's
Terror
just-
from Emilsi. Now he's going to get engaged on as well. The Banish lands on him too. The bomb will land just as the Banish ends. Monster does not connect with anyone. Monkey comes down from the clouds, and now we're going to see Funballer find himself another kill as Cubo and Trix going to continue chasing.
Trix Tank gets 2 people with the stun ultimate. Monkey still doing what he can. The suns scare no one. Zalia's just going to wade in them and take it as the rest of his team winds up looking to the right-hand side of the jungle. Allied, you said it before. Hey, if we could get 4 and take the Gold Fury, no problem. They're going to take 3 and head right to the right-hand side of the map. Not the Fire Giant just yet, though, folks. They're going to look at the structures. Right-hand tier 2 will fall.
They just need a little bit more health. I think the safest play, once again, and I like this. Notice how I keep saying the safest or the safer play.
Yep.
The safer play is just get the guaranteed, which is the tier 2 tower, Harpies, maybe some jungle camps. Let's back up, and we can just do that again. Right now, Suntouch is 0-5-4. He has been doing nothing but dying, and I'm a Suntouch fan. Like, I'm a fanboy, hands down. So it pains me to see it.
Yeah.
It's just there's not much he can actually do. He's having a hard time surviving in these fights.
Especially on a character like a Wheelix. If we saw the Hunbats come back or a Thor maybe, you have tools to do things when you're behind. A Wheelish is a character absolutely nothing like Loki, but a lot like Loki in the sense that your job is to kill people.
Yes.
And that's really it. The Gravity Surge is going to help. The Gravity Surge is a great tool to use for setup, but a Wheelish's job is to kill people. So.
Is this the last buff that Paradigm need to take down to get themselves this spot for the LAN
DM
to
would be mad.
face off against Cloud9? Well, because he got hit by
He got
knockups.
hit by the knock.
DM can't talk. He got hit by him too. Like, we've all seen it. He hides well behind it. But Paradigm will get the Fire Giant hit. Doesn't look like Conspiracy going to contest. Cubo keeping the team busy in the mid lane for the most part to keep eyes on them. And now the siege can happen for the Phoenixes.
Looks like the team's going to go mid lane. Paradigm heading over here. Well, a little bit spread out. You've got not Hunbats. You've got Sun Wukong heading to the right-hand side. Zalia trying to decide where he wants to go. Lobster, Funballer, and Zalia now making their way into the mid lane as the tier 2 is about halfway down. London Conspiracy not wanting to play defense here.
They've got to defend the Phoenixes. They can't look to go any further aggressive. Look at the bomb damage onto arrows from Lobster there. Good work over the wall. And now they're going to swing to left for the last tier 2 tower. This is just a clinic of like playing safe, like you keep saying that, Lloyd.
No, I mean, like, they probably could have forced an engagement there to pressure onto the Phoenix, but at this point they have to decide, do we kind of dive the Phoenix, and if so, how do we go about it? And this is probably the biggest thing for a lot of teams, and they're actually still, once again, going for the safer play. They're going for tier 2 tower on left, and now they have to, like, it's up to London Conspiracy to decide as well. Do we defend this tier 2 as we're getting Agni bombs to the dome, another cudgel, and Arrow barely getting out of there. So I guess that's a pretty solid answer. We can't defend this.
No fear on the Monkey King. Zalia just To say front line, I mean, he's beyond the front line.
And the Fire Giant now as well, still ticking away, so these guys are regenerating after that small little skirmish. Arrow recall back to base. They're all on full health too, though, so Conspiracy will be looking for the engage. All ultimates available. This is probably their last stand, but Trix is going to go in.
Blinks right over the grab at Scylla. Nothing happening there for the mage. That said, Trix tank is going to blink in and really not do much. Cataclysm will only hit one and not be a part of the fight.
Oh, Shaggy trading with Funballer. Funballer doing well in the trade. Mid lane, though. Aggression comes out the backside. Zelia's trying to bring down Arrow. Sentinel's away. Cudgel connects. He can't find the kill, but he's going to turn his attention to disengaging from the Titan as he's swinging away at him. Trixtag still tanking up this Phoenix as the rest of Paradigm bring it down.
Mid Phoenix falls. Left-hand Phoenix relinquished. Not going to be the target, and so it will stay alive for now. Paradigm, though, with that buff around their waist, still valuable for a couple of minutes.
They're going to fight again. They're trying to find a pick with the banish. Double banish. The bomb does not connect, however. The stun from that. Funball is still looking for the chase. The slow applied. There comes Cuvo looking for Snakeskin. Pulls him back to the team. Where's the burst? He's back on Funballer again. And there's Zalia, and Cuvo's poison will spread and kill.
Paradigm pretended to go for the Gold Fury, and they just hid in the cut, waiting. And as soon as London Conspiracy decided to respond to that, they popped out like Jack in the Boxes, taking the lives of Snakeskin and pushing a lot of people out of it, just making this Gold Fury play, again, the motif of the game, even safer.
Gold Fury. I think this Gold Fury call is good. They already got they already got one Phoenix to do the Gold Fury, and they'll probably go back. They have a couple of options here. Regain your buffs, buy your items. They have a lot of gold in hand, as you can see
each.
here. Yeah, that's full items being done, especially with how late game their comp is. A lot of people say that Wukong is a tank, but if you build Wukong the right way, you get the right items, Wukong can carry just as hard.
It was a number of weeks ago. I think it was week number 4 or 5 of the summer split. Going into the game, Zelia had picked Sun Wukong, and I was like, look, Zelia is going to be looking to play Distractor or be an annoyance, and be a disruptor, not really look for kills and damage, etc. And Zelia came at me after the game saying, hey, why don't you check the damage? And Zelia's Sun Wukong wound up being the #1 on player damage, so it's very, very possible.
We saw the map, 18k player damage. That's above an Agni.
And that's Sun Wukong again.
That's above an Agni.
Yep.
Who does that? Above an Agni. Above Lobster's Agni. Nerfs required.
Nerfs everywhere.
Nerfs.
But honestly, I think it's comfort with the character, knowing the ins and outs, and really just it's just like one of his mono plays. He knows his limitations. He knows when he can get free damage in, and the pressure shows. I mean, having 2 people in his lane the whole game and still coming out on top, making them back, securing the towers by himself. There's very few solo laners that can do that effectively and live to tell the tale. So
they're going to push up the lanes one more time. Fire Giant due up in a couple of minutes, actually 47 seconds. We'll see the Fire Giant respawn. And I guess that's what the plan is now, F-Dot. Maybe try and pick someone as they push these lanes up and wait for the Fire Giant.
That's got to be the entire plan. Funball waiting in base, trying to finish something, because he's not moving. He just left the base.
Guys, I've not reached this build in a while. What do I get? I heard the boys of Cloud9 say that yesterday. What do I buy? Who cares? Just buy something.
Uh-oh, Sun Touch one more time. Wrong place, wrong time. Right move for Cuvo Fred. He'll put another one on his kill column. 5, 1, and 8 for the Paradigm jungler.
Malice Deathbringer connects, and 400 crit damage hits the back of his head. He's not going to survive long, and that should pretty much spell the Fire Giant now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for Sunny. It seems like he's been on the back foot this whole time. He's been having a really hard time kind of getting anything going, and it's really showing. Shaggy Shank having a decent showing. He did get a couple of good plays in, but overall, with Snakeskin losing his lane and Suntouch falling behind, it's just snowballed out of control, and Paradigm are looking to get the Fire Giant. 26 minutes 37 seconds in the game, and now that is probably the end of London Conspiracy's Phoenixes.
To be fair to London Conspiracy, though, even if they do lose this, they have performed so well this split. I think a lot of people did not expect him to go this far.
I think they did better than Epsilon.
Yeah,
a lot of people
very dead.
Yeah, a lot of people considered Epsilon to be the better team.
A bit overextended.
That's what Xenia does. It's
he
what
was
every
in the
solo
enemy
laner
base.
does. It's what every solo laner does after. He was in the enemy base. Devios does that too.
It's going to be very rough. You have Cubo Fred splitting on the left-hand side. Zelia
Oh,
is dead.
punish.
So it's a 3v5
ball
here.
turnaround.
Lobster's going to do some damage. So it's Funball. Immediately it's a 3v3. Everything all evened up for Paradigm. Funball picks up the other side of his double kill. Lobster picks up the other side of his double kill. The surrender vote is out. Funball gets one more to secure the triple. The only thing alive on the side of London Conspiracy is the Titan. And right now, it's going to go down.
The classic, you know what? We picked off Zelia because he overextended. Let's all overextend and chase him down. But you got to remember, it's still Fire Giant. It is OP, baby. So they turned it around, and even 4v5 cleaned up London Conspiracy due to the lead that they had.
Paradigm finally make it their way back into top contention.
Wow.
Wasn't an easy season for him by a long stretch because we expected a number 1, number 2 finish for these boys. People were saying Paradigm and Epsilon will be the top 2. Titan, Fnatic potentially as well, but they slipped their way into 3rd spot.
Halfway through the season, Trig, now Paradigm, really turned it up. And we had Zelia on the call. We had Zelia on the interview, I want to say week 4 or 5. And Funball wound up being the one after that. And we asked both of them, how do you guys feel about your season? Rocky start. And they were like, we're going to win. Well, they're coming to land.
So First Blood on your screens right now. Let's have a little look at that one of how Paradigm made their way into this game.
Yeah, it all started with one of the plays coming out in the early side of the game, out of Funball, if I'm not mistaken, the Freya player, starting out with the Achilles spear, but it actually will be Lobster riding along
Lobster
in the mid
dashes
lane.
in at level 4, finds the stun, follow up from Cuvo, and there's not a whole lot you can do in that situation, Alad. You're just going to get dropped.
I mean, it was teamwork. It called it out. Hey, I'm pretty sure the comms went like this. I can kill him.
Yep.
Kill him. Okay. And they did it. Like, it was just good. So
Simple is as simple does. Map control on your screens coming up now as well. Once again, let's have a look at those mid harpies. This time around, London Conspiracy did get a few of them, but only 14% once again.
Just a lot of dominance coming out from Paradigm, and really that's just being able to be all over the map, just able to show their face whenever they wanted to, really. 24 out of 28 mid camps, and majority of those were the ones that mattered early on. Really making a choice to pick those.
And with how the game played out from the start, just because of that first kill that Lobster picked up, it just accelerated the mid-camp control, really, for Paradigm to put them in the position. Obviously, with Zelia doing so well in solo lane as well against Snakeskin, it just made the life easier for Paradigm just to focus the middle and duo side of the map.
I mean, having that much presence and having that much control, especially over your own jungle and their own jungle, it makes life easy. I mean, you could feel the presence coming out of Paradigm, and they were able to use that to control the map. And even though Funball was playing a weak character in the dual lane, it didn't really matter because they had jungle and they had solo and mid under control.
Yeah, the trifecta of like the jungler and the mid laner together with the support was just very strong. They're the 3 backbones of Paradigm that have been together for a very long time.
Very true.
And that was why it's so easy for them to like kind of bring in Funballer and Zelia, because it's like, well, they're kind of the the guys that turn up later to the fight.
And our player of the game is actually going to be one of those newer players. It will be solo laner Zelia, the character that was able to, while he was alive, 2v1, set up plays for his team, and then even in death, wound up being one of the key points of this win. I mean, Allied, you wrapped up the analysis very well. Zelia died to give London Conspiracy some sort of gusto and wind up getting 3v5'd by Lobster and his friends.
I mean, I think it was the satisfaction. We fought raid boss down, boys. We
Raid
got
boss
him.
down.
And then, yo, we can go in. We can turn this right now. Oh,
and it's
they
no
have Fire
fault.
Giant. Like,
3v5 with Fire Giant, 5v3. That's how you want to fight a team with Fire Giant.
Yeah.
You go with numbers, 5v3, and, well, Lobster and Funball just said no.
Zelia's damage that game was insane. Beating out Agni for the most part, beating out Lobster in the mid lane. I mean, it's not an easy task to do because Agni's so much space control with those bombs raining down. But speaking of Lobster, he's on the line.
Hey!
Yo,
Hi,
buddy.
Lobby.
How you doing, Lobster? Congratulations on your win. That means we'll see you soon. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good, man. Yeah,
I've got a big,
we did it.
got a big question for you, Lobster. You ready for it?
Sure.
Can you guys win a game at LAN this time?
I mean,
I believe you.
really?
Lobster.
Like,
I have to say it, buddy, because like I'm gonna sit here and commentate it again, and I don't want to big you guys up, and then you let me down again.
yeah, I don't know. Like last time we said would take this easy, so I'm just not gonna say anything.
All right,
Like,
well,
we'll do our best.
Well, let's turn Hindu Man's banter into a real question real quick. You guys came in and unfortunately did not have the performance that you wanted to in the spring final LAN. Are you guys making any different steps for the summer final LAN? Are you preparing differently?
We're definitely preparing a bit differently because I mean, last split was kind of mid-school season for the kids, you know.
Oh, okay.
That's also why we struggled a little bit in the early SPL stages here. We were like 1-4, I think.
Yeah.
And so we basically won 9 games in a row now the last weeks. So we'll definitely just practice more. Honestly, that's what it comes down to.
So with the LAN, you're going to be up against Cloud9 in your first game, more than likely. I mean, is there any one of the teams that you were scared of facing from North America to start off, or are you happy with whoever you get?
I think we're happy with whoever we get. I personally definitely want to play FK again, though. I think we'll have a good shot. Shout out to Allied.
I love you. I can't wait to see you, man.
He's been so nice to you all day. He's just been worried in case he has to face you again.
Now, one of the questions before we let you go, I wanted to ask a little bit about your sort of the structure change. You guys have gone from Trig, now Paradigm, owned by Zimp. Now, obviously, no roster changes, no personnel changes as far as that's concerned. But do you guys feel differently now that you're under a new name, or is it really just the license plate on the car you're driving?
I mean, it's a little bit different because you wanna. It's sort of us branding ourselves, you know. We want to prove ourselves now, as opposed to before it was kind of we play for someone and that's about it. But now we play for
yourselves,
our own thing, and we have our sponsors just backing us up.
That's awesome. Any shout-outs you want to give, Lobster, before we let you go? Obviously, you guys probably happily going to be celebrating in the usual EU usual EU ways. Any shout-outs to anybody in particular before we let you go?
Yeah, I have a couple of shout-outs. One to you personally, Hindu Man, from Trig's Tank.
From Trig's
So there it is.
Nice.
Shout out to the Fumble for calling it would go undefeated the rest of the split in his interview, and it happened. So
yep.
There it is. Shout out to Paradigm, Coach Dazer, Lloydie, and Simp for sticking with us. Shout out to Trig for also sticking with us, even though we want to do our own thing for no reason. But anyway. And last but not least, shout out to myself for feeding entire split. It was an honor. Yeah, it's gonna be good at LAN.
Thank you so much, Lobster, for that amazing feeding that you did for the season to make it so entertaining. Good luck in LAN, but let's have a look now after Allied at the EU standings right now.
Yeah, so right now we're going to take a look at the screenshot. We've got Titan, Fnatic, Paradigm, all going to LAN. London Conspiracy and Epsilon are tied 8-6. Also, as we go past just the win-loss, they're also tied as far as head-to-head is concerned. So these players will be playing a tiebreaker just to finalize their seeding and their tournament winnings. That will be played off-stream as it doesn't really solidify anyone going to LAN or relegation.
Now, just to clear up as well, just show Fnatic and Paradigm are tied at 10-4. However, Fnatic have the better head-to-head record, and that's why they find themselves in second position there as well. So that's EU all kind of round up now in terms of what went on for the season. We know who the losers are, the victors are. Are you surprised by any of those in EU at all, Alan?
No, I mean, like, the beginning of the season was a little weird. Paradigm, or formerly known as Trig, I mean, like, it's not like they're bad. So to have them start off so slow, I was surprised, but they went undefeated. So I always thought they were really good, and I love them. Trix is awesome. Lobster's a joy to be around. Funball's a great guy. Like, everyone's cool on that team. So I'm very excited to have them back at LAN, even if they are my competitor.
Well, we'll see what you can do up against if you do get to face them at some point in that LAN. But boys and girls, that's the end of Game 2 and the end of EU, but we've still got one game remaining over in North America, which will be Denial up against TSM.
Ooh.
And that, F-Dot, will decide who gets third seed.
Yeah, that's a really big one. If Denial 2-0s, they're going to LAN and Team Solo Mid is staying home. It might be a big if to some people, but I know that up here on the analyst desk, there are a number of teams that we would just say absolutely no chance. Denial's not one of them.
It's not one of them,
Denial
guys.
does have a chance to take down Team Solo Mid, so you're going to want to stay tuned for that. Remember, it's the North American battle to see who goes to LAN. Denial versus Team Solo Mid. Just a couple of minutes, and we'll have some other people on the call. Stay tuned for some more SPL.
breath, you're the only one I see. Breathe me in, taste your lips, you're the only high.